Blessings, blessings, and more blessings, you all. Welcome to Soulful Nutrition and Wellness, where evolution is essential for growth. It is the end of December. We've made it through Christmas, but I've been seeing a lot of people wearing masks, at work, outside, in the stores. And it's because right now we are still at the height of flu season. So I wanted to talk to you about an article that I read from the New York Times in regards to the current strain of flu that is amongst us. This article was written by Danny Bloom, December 17th, 2025. And it states here that there is this flu strain that is the cousin to a more recent flu, and it is called H3N2 Subclade K. H3N2 Subclade K. Now, how and they come up with the names and all that when it comes to uh, determining what flus are. I'm not a scientist. I am a healthcare professional, and I just want you to be well. So I have no idea, where that comes from. I'm not going to research it because it's already enough to research, in order to keep up on things. But it says the main version of flu spreading in the United States right now is H3N2 subclade K. This is a common strain. H3N2 is a common strain, but the specific type of it circulating now is subclade K, is what's new. The variant has several mutations that differentiate it from previous versions, making it a cousin of what we've always had. Not a sibling, but a cousin. And this is from Dr. Scott Roberts, an assistant professor of infectious diseases at the Yale School of Medicine. So, another strain of flu. Typically, it's always been said that there's over 200 different types of strains of flu, and then we also have COVID still circulating. So we got to understand that it's important to stay on top of your flu health, especially with the seasons changing. We've been going from cold temps to warmer temps, back to cold temps to warmer temps. And when it gets cold outside, that, allows things to kind of lie dormant, go dormant. But when we're up and down with the different temperatures and stuff, then if you notice, the birds come out again. You thought, well, they should have flown south already for the winter, but here they're out on your balcony singing and stuff because the seasons are off. But as we know, winter months are a time where the flu can tend to run rampant, especially with us visiting family members during this time of year. So we're up close and personal with people, and we just want to know that we want to keep on top of our game when it comes to being aware of just how serious flu can get. For some, it's extreme sickness, and for others, there's loss of life. So I want to just talk about some of the things that we can do when it comes to combating the flu, or just taking care of yourself during the flu season. Now, vaccines are an option, and usually on our jobs, I know with me working in the hospital setting, it is mandatory that we do take our flu vaccine. And it is understood because even this season I have seen many people out with the flu, and also they speak about their children becoming ill as well. um, because this flu has evolved so much, it says here that some worry that this year's flu shot might be less effective than the doctors had hoped. The shot still confers some protection that can help prevent people from getting seriously sick. So, I know some are for the flu vaccines and some are not, but I know that it is a chance that you take because, again, the actual flu itself, it could be debilitating. And so you taking your vaccine is definitely, a choice of your own. But let's speak about some of the things that you can do to actually prevent the flu. So, again, getting vaccinated with your annual flu shot is one of the best defenses in regards to warding off the flu. Washing your hands frequently. So we're going in and out of the house all day, or if you're on your job, opening, using your doorknobs. Those things carry the germs for over 24 hours a lot of the times. And so we need to make sure that we are disinfecting those areas in order to help prevent spreading the flu. You got little ones or grandchildren that are going to daycare and coming home, and again, they carry all kinds of germs. And so therefore you want to make sure, we're washing our faces and our hands a little more frequently. Avoid close contact. Again, this is the time of year where we're visiting with family members and things of that nature. So you definitely want to make sure you're avoiding close contact with those that are not well, but you also want to be cognizant of being around those that you would assume are well. Just because someone isn't coughing or sneezing does not mean they're not carrying around, some germs. So if you're one that would prefer using your still using your mask when you go out in public, there's nothing wrong with it. Again, I've been seeing people that have continued to use the mask, and we can look upside their heads as if it's something wrong with them. But again, they may be ill and they just want to protect themselves, or they're trying to protect, others. Cover your cough and your sneezes. So we've all been told and taught to make sure that we're sneezing within the elbow and or using tissue, and then again washing your hands thereafter. If you could see the microscopic droplets, well, microscopic you can't see, but you can see when you sneeze the droplets that are, in the air if you have not covered yourself up. Well, those droplets spread to other people, and that's not etiquette when it comes to coughing and sneezing. Clean surfaces. So one of my favorite, hate to put a product out here, but it is my favorite, Clorox cleanup wipes and spray does the trick. So make sure that we're disinfecting areas more often than not. And one of the biggest things is stay healthy. So how do you stay healthy during flu season? First of all, eat well, get enough sleep. Again, I've said it before, I don't play when it comes about my sleep. I give me a good, 7.5 to 8 hours a night, and I'm good. Manage your stress. That's a biggie. I don't think we understand how important it is to manage the stress in our lives. Again, your job, your relationships, your situationships. Let your yes be yes and your no be no, going into 2026, and that will help you with a lot of the stress that we carry. Yes, we do have to work our jobs and things like that, but just know what your boundaries are. Because if you're not getting enough rest and you're not eating well, but you're taking all the extra 12-hour shifts that are available, that might not be so conducive to having a healthy body and a healthy mind. So always just begin to know that it is okay to put you first. And last year it says to stay active. We cannot just sit around and be, a couch potato. We need to make sure that we are getting up and moving around. And if you're wheelchair chair bound, you move your arms. You can always lift weights, 5-pound weights with your arms. You can always move your legs, even in sitting in a wheelchair, work your ankles. You want to keep the circulation going in your body. So those are all the things that you could do to help to ward off and prevent sickness and disease, not just you know during the flu season, but year round. I mean, it goes around from like what, August. They start the flu vaccines in August, all the way till going into the spring months. So you got it's best you take care of yourself on the daily and keep your immune system up. Another thing too, I'm not, trying to push um, medications or anything, but these items are available over the counter. So like your multivitamins, your vitamin C chewables. I love the vitamin C chewables that the wafers that you can take, but you want to stay hydrated as well. During the winter months, we tend to become more dehydrated than we do during the warmer months because we forget to drink. If you're working a job where you're super busy on your feet all day and you're just not taking time to, drink your water like you should, or how about we'll drink coffee, but we're not drinking enough water. Coffee is a natural diuretic, so you're kind of rinsing out your electrolytes and things of that nature, or can be, when it comes to drinking coffee and then not replenishing yourself with more water. So do know coffee is a natural diuretic and we should drink water behind it. Um, Other things to do when you are not well and you've been diagnosed with the flu, they may give you or offer you to take Tamiflu. But even though you take the Tamiflu, does not mean you should not implement some of the natural things or the things that you can be doing at home. So if you have fevers, you definitely want to keep the fevers under control, because while you have a fever, guess what? You are infectious. So maybe the your doctor told you, or maybe the emergency department may have, told you to alternate your Tylenol, your acetaminophen, along with your ibuprofen, so your anti-inflammatory, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, which would be your ibuprofen, your Motrin, your Advil, or your Aleve. But you may want to alternate those two meds just to keep the fevers at bay, because remember, again, while you have a fever, then that means that you are contagious to others. You want to also make sure that you're resting properly, giving yourself time to heal and recover, because that is what the body is going to do when it's resting if you give it the opportunity. Again, hydrate, so drink plenty of water, your broths, and your electrolytes. If you are, having an emesis, if you're throwing up and things like that, you want to replace your electrolytes, okay? So again, broth is awesome, an awesome way to replenish the sodium within your body and just pushing fluids. And I'm not talking about a bunch of sugary drinks, your cans of soda and things like that, but just make sure that you are replenishing with some water, your broth, and electrolyte drinks if need be. Here it's talking here about your over-the-counter meds, so your acetaminophen and your ibuprofen for aches and fevers. Um, no aspirin, it says here, for kids and teens. So that's good to know. Aspirin can tend to thin the blood, and it's just not necessary apparently for, kids and teens. Your antivirals, which we talked about, your Tamiflu, making sure that you have a humidifier available to keep a cool mist going, while you're congested. I'm a big believer in using Vicks Vapor Rub. That is, I use Vicks Vapor Rub even for just aromatherapy. When I'm going to bed at night, I might, put a little under my nose and stuff. So Vicks Vapor Rub, just having some eucalyptus around. Saline sprays help to moisturize the nasal passages. So you want to make sure that if you're dealing with the dry nasal passages, to get you some saline to use to lubricate. Otherwise, guys, just continue to stay in a higher vibration and just allow the flu to run its course, because what else can you do? This should be a time that you are focused on you, and any loved ones that are around you should know that it's a time to focus on you, and they should be focusing on themselves by trying to do all that they can to prevent themselves catching the flu and spreading it to older loved ones and things of that nature. So, I think that should tie this this video up. Just wanted you to know that it is very important that you grab hold of your own health and wellness during the remaining of this flu season, and look forward to what 2026 will bring you as we're headed into the new year. With that being said, peace out. Stay blessed.